Hi, how are we doing? I'm doing good because today we're talking about It's Not That Deep by Demi Lovato, their new album. I do have to say, I'm gonna preface this by saying that I wasn't super excited for this release. Like, I love Demi with all my heart, and I have for years now. But I do have to say, when it comes to like this dance, like electro kind of vibe, it's not my typical vibe. But I do have to say that Demi has pulled it off in a way that I enjoyed before. But like my favorite songs from them are not in this sphere. So when this singles came out, I wasn't super hyped about them, and therefore I was a bit hesitant to go into this album, but I was also very hopeful. And I see how that turns out. But if you're new here, in my album reviews, I first talk with the songs track by track, then give you my overall thoughts on the album, and then give you my top 3. And every opinion in this video is based upon my first listen through of the full album. So yeah, that's all you gotta know. So let's start things off with Fast. This is not just the first track on the album, it's also the first single that was released. And I do have to say that when this first came out, I wasn't a fan of it. I did think it was a bit of a vibe, and I could recognize that it's not a bad song, but I just had no connection to it at all. But it has been out for a little while now, and I have to say that my mind on it has changed. I do really like it. It has definitely grown on me, and it's so catchy. I at the most random moment in time just find myself singing this chorus because it just lives in my head when free. So now I think this is the first time since the single first came out that I'm actually like re-listening to it again, even though it's been in my head this entire time. But and I've heard like clips of it on like TikToks and other things, but I think this is like my first time fully listening to it, at least like maybe once or twice, like after its first release, but like it's been a little bit since I listened to it again. So now having it on, I was like generally vibing along with it like the first time. So having an experience that made me a bit more hopeful for the rest of the album, that maybe like no matter how I feel about it now, I might like go attached to it a bit more over time, because that's what happened with this song. But then we kind of have a contradictory on the next song, which is Here All Night. And I really like this one when I first listened to it. I still not obsessed with it, but I definitely like it more than fast, and I feel like I like it less now. I think the verses are killing this song for me, because I think the chorus is really fun and vibey, and her vocals on that are insane, especially on the last chorus. But when it comes to the verses, they just feel so flat and monotone, and it irks me. I don't like it. Then next we have Frequency. And this song was kind of a vibe. I can definitely see this playing in a club, which is so cringy for me to say because I've never been in a club. Like, that's not my vibe at all. But I can definitely see like people dancing to this along, you know? I can see it. I can see the vision. But I don't know. It did feel a little bit generic to me. So there we go. Then we have Let You Go. This is another one I quite liked. I really love the lyrics to this one. I feel like the lyrics on this album are quite good. I just wasn't 100% feeling this song. Like, I liked it, but it did feel a bit devoid of like personality, of feeling. It's vibey, but I don't know. I feel very conflicted on this song in particular, because there are things like I like it in theory, but there's also so many things that I don't like. I don't know. It's a difficult one for me. Then we have Sorry to Myself. This is another one that I really like the lyrics and the message of. I kind of got little mixed vibes while listening to this. I don't know why I felt this, but I quite liked it. Again, I felt a little bit of a detachment to it, but overall, I liked it. Then we have Little Bit. And this one, I'm obsessed with. Like, oh, I prefer filming these videos also with just like, I make notes when I first listen to the album, but still I try not to listen to the album in between, like listening to it and my notes and filming, just to keep those thoughts fresh. And I've been itching to listen to this song again. Like, it is so much fun. It's such a vibe. It's so catchy, and I just immediately became very obsessed with this song. And I, at this point, because we are like quite the chunk through the album, I was not expecting that to happen. And oh, I loved it, and I immediately want to go back to it. So yeah, love this one. Then next we have Say It. This is another bop. It's generally is a bop. I feel like that's the definition for this song. It is like I had bopped my head along to this one. I thought the lyrics were cute. It was a fun time. Really like it. Then we have In My Head. Another one that's very boppy, especially in the chorus. Like, I kept like bobbing my head to it. It feels a bit more understated than the rest of the album. Like, the vibes, it's a bit more chill, and I really like that. I think it's a good song with a very catchy element in the chorus, and again, great lyrics. Then we have Kiss, which was released earlier this month as a single. So you will also see that pop up in my straight to the playlist video. And like, I think that's like not my next video, but one after that. And again, very monotone vocals, and on this one it bothered me so much. I can't listen to this song. I'm so sorry. Then I have Before I Knew You. This one, it sounds a bit outdated. I don't know, it felt like something from like the 2010s, and like not in a way where it's like referential, because I feel like a lot of like artists are doing it now, where they're borrowing sounds from like the 2000s or like the 90s or the 80s or like whatever vibe they're going for, but then still like making it their own and something fresh. Well, this generally feels like something that's been in a vault for like 10 years and has no changes made to it, and it's being released now, and if in that sense it kind of feels a bit outdated to me. I don't know why, but again, I like the lyrics, but I feel like the emotion from it is missing a little bit. And then lastly we have Ghost. And I truly did not expect this album to end on a ballad, but I thought it was the perfect ending to this album. I feel like it's such a gorgeous love song. It is just so sweet, and it also finally has the emotion I was looking for the entire album. Like, you can hear every single emotion that Demi is singing about like in her voice so well, and I feel like that's something that they've always done so well, no matter what they're doing. If they're doing more rock, if they're doing more pop, if they're doing more dance, like Demi has been like mixing around to different genres for like their entire career, and no matter what they do, I feel like always that emotion is like their signature, and it's like whether it's positive, negative, like it's always very present in their songs, and I felt like that was missing on this album so far, and I really loved getting that back for this one. And it also like had like that spooky like Halloween sound effect on it, which I feel like in a lot of other songs it could have very easily sounded very gimmicky. It didn't in this one. I feel like it kind of added to the vibe a little. I thought that was really well done production wise, and yeah, I thought this was fucking stunning, so love it. And yeah, let's go over my overall thoughts on this album, and I feel like I twinkled in quite a lot of it throughout my track by track as well, so I think none of it is gonna be a surprise for you. But yeah, overall I feel a bit disappointed by this album. I don't know, I feel like it was missing something, and that something was the personality. I feel like Demi was not present in this album, if that makes sense. Like in the lyrics, yes, you can definitely tell there are things that are obviously related to her life, and they have also said in interviews that they had more fun kind of like playing with like stepping in the voice of like someone else and like characters, as they didn't just want to write about like being happy and in love, because that's the position that they're in. They also wanted to like write about like other things, but that's not what they're experiencing. So stepping into another like into a character and stuff, I feel like more artists have done that, and I'm not upset with that, but I feel like, you know, there's always still a personality behind these things and emotion, and that's just something I was missing from this album. I feel like this generally could have been made by anyone, because there was just no signature Demi in here, which is a bit disappointing, because like I said, I feel like that's a very Demi thing to do. I feel like all of their songs are very easily brought back to them, even if it's like across different genres, across different styles, about different things. I feel like I can always recognize Demi Lovato, so not just because I recognize their voice, but just because there is just something Demi about them, and that just wasn't the case for this album, sadly enough. Like I said, I do also think it was very devoid of emotion to me. I feel like there was no happiness in it, no sadness. It just kind of felt like Demi was a bit detached from what they were singing about, besides Ghost, which is a bit of a shame to me. And yeah, I don't know, and songs wise, I do have to say, this isn't my typical genre. This is not what I typically attach to. I said that at the start of this video as well. So maybe my kind of like the attachment to the album as well comes from that as well. And as I said at the start, Fast is a song that grew on me and I love now. So maybe that's also gonna be the case for the entire album. I don't know. I hope so. I genuinely hope that if I listen to that, Fast is kind of a example of what this whole album will be like for me, where it has to grow on me and I have to sit with things a little bit more. I hope that a lot. Yeah, I feel a bit let down. There are some songs I really like. I'm gonna give you my top 3, and I love all 3 of those songs, and I feel like I've ranked all of the songs just for my own sake, and I feel like the top 5 of it I generally do see myself listening to again a lot. So I did like quite a lot of the songs, and I don't think there is a bad song amongst this album, besides Guess Maybe. That's just because it's grating to me, but I don't think it's necessarily bad, because that's definitely like a style that a lot of people like, but it's so grating to me. I can't handle it. But like for the rest, I don't think there is a single song on here that I like genuinely dislike and I think is bad. So in that sense, I do overall my feeling on it is positive, but I can't help but feel disappointed by it in a way. So yeah, but yeah, I'm gonna give you my top 3, and again, I adore these songs, so it's not that this whole thing, I feel like I'm being more negative than I'm feeling. Anyway, but for my top 3, the number 1 spot is a little bit, in case it wasn't obvious. Number 2, we have Ghost, and on 3, we have Fast, which was such a shock to me. Like, if you would have told me a couple of months ago that Fast, when it, like, you know, when Fast first came out, if you told me that would be like in my top 3 of the album, I would have been like, oh my god, I must have been a horrible album. Because I did not like this song. It's not a horrible album. Like I said, I do quite like half of it already. And I do think the others might have to grow on me a little. But yeah, I feel like as a body of work, it feels a bit like a letdown to me personally. But yeah, that's opinions we can have, you know? And everyone's gonna react to this. If I do definitely think if this like dance style is more your thing, you're already gonna connect to it a bit more than I did. But yeah, there we go. I love Demi so much, and I feel disappointed that I disappointed by this album, you know? So it's like a double disappointment, which makes it all feel more down than it should be. Anyway, let me know in the comments what you thought of this album. I would love to discuss, as well as your top 3, because I always like seeing like the different songs everyone connects with, because that's always different, you know. And yeah, hopefully I'll see you next time.
Here I am again, the same old situation. Why does the God thing have to be so complicated?